So it's probably me. And I'll muck about with that a little bit later and see if I can get it to work. Works fine in free flight. All right. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be. Welcome back. Or welcome. And we are going to do some career mode. We're going to look for, try to make some money today in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are somewhere in Kansas. KSFY, St. Francis. In Kansas. I was lamenting on an earlier live stream, on the previous live stream, that I wish we could use any plane that we wanted. Don't have a company yet, and I'm not in a hurry. Everybody say don't get into a company fast. Take your time. Take your time and build up a whole lot of money because everything is super expensive. And you can easily put yourself in the hole and crash your whole company right at the start. So have a whole lot of money built up first and take your time and enjoy all this career stuff. I still wish we had access to whatever plane we wanted, though. This looks fine. Standard freight from Goodland to Sterling. The 172, which is always lovely. KGLD. Okay, let me update the live stream text, the notes or whatever, whatever. Metadata, title. Okay. KGLD to KSTX. KSTK. All right, so I put it in there. It's what we're going in the aircraft that we're using. So let's go ahead and get this going. 172, they say, is the most popular plane ever. It's used for the most training and just the most popular in the world. So 5,000 credits. All right, let's get to it. Do. Alrighty. Have I forgotten already?
Captain, are you ready? Great. It's Clarice, your dispatcher. You know? Just a quick reminder about today's job. You're carrying bulk cargo on this flight. Standard shipment for our partner based in Sterling, but super urgent. You must reach Sterling Muni ASAP. Our sensitive cargo containers are built to handle turbulence but maintain a constant flight speed. Let's keep our delivery on time and safe. All relevant information is in your flight packet, which is uploaded on your map as a reference. Fly safely, team.
All right. Yep, let's fly safely, team. That's a neat paint job on that over there. I'm wild. I like to party. Talk to me about illicit substances. Okay. Do. So if you don't know by now, they have a web page version of it's an advanced version of the electronic flight bag. I keep wanting to default and say the electronic feed bag. So they have a web page version that is way more advanced. And yeah, so if you're into heavy duty flight planning, it's pretty awesome.
Kilo Golf Lima Delta Traffic Kin Papa Echo Alpha 5814 is taxiing to runway 30.
All right, so we're just cleared, so we'll just go. You're thinking it's awful quiet. You're right. We were flying, I was flying eVTOL earlier. All right, so we're off. Sorta. That song by The Who, Just Another Tricky Day. That's going through my head right now. Tricky maneuvering through there. So not too much wind, not like yesterday. I'm hoping we can make our way back towards Colorado. Damn, taking us directly north. I can't wait to see if it does handle the seasons much better going forward, because when Kansas turns green, it's just lovely. So I had to transport a lot of vehicles in the past back and forth between Colorado Springs and areas in Kansas. And during the winter months like this, when everything's bleak, yeah, it's probably gonna fine me for going too fast. They're gonna deduct points for speeding down the taxiway, so I better slow down. I think the damage is done. Oh, but anyway, yeah, driving through Kansas during the winter months, it's like, put on the talk radio and try to lose yourself for a while. But when it's green, and they've got all the sheep out and all the just other critters, you know, whatever critters they got out. It's, you know, you just want to pay attention to everything. Very, very pretty. Again, the reason why I bring up the sheep is because you get these pastures that are just these deep, deep greens, and those sheep stand right out. As a transporter, you know, safety is everything. And I was coming out of someplace in Kansas, and it was kind of crappy weather, and it had been snowing, and just doing everything to make sure that, you know, that under speed, and just didn't want to have any mishaps whatsoever. And I still hit a patch of black ice, and it sent me off the road, you know, to the right. But there was a moment when I first hit it that I had deviated over into oncoming traffic lane. And thank God there was no oncoming traffic, because there's always oncoming traffic, and it's usually heavy duty oncoming traffic, like heavy equipment, semis. And I was just so lucky in that moment that nothing was coming my way. And it's just only a 2-laner too on Highway 50. And so that, you know, that just makes things suck in general when you're hurtling at those speeds and there's no room for error. I look forward to a time in the future, I hope, where everybody works out their copyright stuff and that we can have music during live streams. You have to have it all pre-licensed and all the legalese, royalty stuff, and then it's usually like, well, it's one-use license only, and it's only good for the live stream, and therefore you can't do replays and keep an archive of your streams like a podcast. I really wish we had the licensing ability to use Bushtalk Radio for the radio portion of it, which is amazing. I use it mostly, for the audio tours. So when we're flying around and we move by points of interest, we get these amazing audio tour things that play. But the other half of it, which is why it's called Bushtalk Radio, is it has every terrestrial radio station, I think, in it. So as you're flying around, you literally just, you can have it scan all radio channels and start playing the music from wherever you're at. And that has been an absolute joy. When I was doing the world tour, world tour number 1, $5,100 feet. All right, let's do this the computerized way. Hey, easy. $5,001 and turn on the autopilot, nav, and flight level change. Dude, come on. Settle into it. There you go. Go to 5.9. Supposed to go to 5.1, but the boxes are up there. And then I'm going to use the heading. We're going to put us right in them. As we look down, it's unmistakably Kansas. Although I shouldn't say that. As I've been traveling from Colorado and making my way east multiple times, it all kind of looks like this going east. I mean, you get a lot more trees further out. But it was a real shocker doing my first cross countries to the east at just how flat everything is. All the way. I mean, it's perfect for, I don't know, you were terraforming a planet to house a lot of people. You know, you do need all your farming lands. So guess we can give 2 big thumbs up to the Lord for giving us plenty of flat land. Hey, Ed E's in the chat room. You started your career in 2024 this past weekend. Far out. 2 big thumbs up, man. Hey, and if you have any questions, if I can help in any way. I mean, there's so many amazing pilot teachers on YouTube. Any question that you would want to know, there's absolutely an expert who's done a video on what you need to know. But if I can explain it, I absolutely will. So thank you for tuning in. Yeah, and I said, if you pop into my chat room, I can quickly go click the 3 dots next to your name, go to channel and subscribe and make things nice and fast. So Ed E, thank you for stopping in and saying something in the chat room. And I have subscribed and I will get all notifications in the future. Okay. Adjust my heading a little bit. And we're still climbing. No. I want to be climbing. We do a vertical speed. Vertical speed and nose up. And adjust our heading. That's 400 feet. Yeah, good. That's better. We don't need to go up much higher. And heading. And we'll do an alt hold here. Okay. It is a hoot. I enjoy it, Ed. I enjoy it an awful lot. Oh, I'm when you say you started your career, I got stupid in my head for a minute and thinking that you're a noob. You could be like a real life pilot, but you're just getting 2024 and you're just starting the career stuff. So my apologies. You might be Uber pilot. Okay, switching back to nav. I think it's better than it was. I think I recall, it's been a long time. I've been on a really long extended vacation, health reasons and yada, yada, yada. But it's been months since I've been live streaming and doing my career stuff. And, but I do believe that when we first started doing these, the nav wasn't really lining up that great with the boxes. Anyway, this seems better. But I am well, I don't really know what part of the career I'm on. I'm at level 90 and I haven't gotten through all my certifications all the way, and I haven't I've done a lot of certifications on the I wish we could go back and show those screens while we're doing all this. But I haven't started a company yet, and everybody's saying don't start a company soon. Build up a lot of money before you start a company. I haven't gotten to the aerial spraying yet. I want to do that. I have done the firefighter. Just did helicopter certification. I don't think I qualify for advertising quite yet, but a lot of them are getting there. You know, it's things you need to have, again, as you know, like 10 of these, 10 landings, and, you know, so getting close to getting more. Yeah, I am just a sim pilot too. I've been at it a long time, different sims. I started with like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000. but I was too young and I didn't really have the time to put any effort into it. I really got serious around Flight Simulator X. So Microsoft released Flight Simulator, or Microsoft Flight. And I really enjoyed Microsoft Flight, so then I picked up Microsoft Flight Simulator X and really started grinding and wanting to learn everything and going through all the tutorials and training, and then finally YouTube was available, and then everybody started making amazing training videos on YouTube. Then I went to X-Plane, and then I got to be a tester for Flight Sim World, which could have been the flight simulator that we're using right now. I don't know what happened with Microsoft and Dovetail Games, but Dovetail Games had all the licenses to make the next simulator for Microsoft. Anyway, they did Flight Sim World, and then Microsoft pulled the plug on it, and it's no longer available. And then 2020. And now here we are in 2024. And I'm blown away, man. I am blown away how far it's come. That they've given us way more than I ever thought we would get. It's way more amazing than I thought it would ever be. For all of its little problems here and there. One of the greatest things I've ever experienced. Pretty amazing. Cool. You're at level 5. Awesome. They go quick. I thought it was going to be more like I thought it was going to be more like Dungeons and Dragons. And that the higher up you go, the harder it is to get those next levels. And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be grinding forever. No, you get them really quick. So as you start moving along here, Ed, it's going to be in a day or two, you're going to be 15, 30. You start leveling up super fast. They just throw levels at you. I just realized I've been redlining it the whole time, and that's probably going to cause a potential penalty and hit to reputation and credits. Slow down a tiny bit. I think I'm pretty good, but my reputation says completely different. So occasionally I get it up into the A and I get super, and all of a sudden do something really stupid, and now I'm back down to a D, get busted back down. So I've risen to the heights, but I always manage to keep myself in the crap. So if you just tuned in, we're doing a run across Kansas today. I don't know. I don't have Bushtalk loaded, so I couldn't tell you if there's any good points of interest along the route. But if you're into Kansas, man, this is the live stream for you, man. I was saying earlier that when it turns green, I can't wait for seasons in this, and I can't wait to see if it does change, if Kansas turns super bright green like it usually does. Same with areas around Colorado. During the winter, kind of bleak, but when everything turns green, man, it's far out. You started with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Yeah, I remember being out there when Flight Simulator X finally made its way over to Steam. And everybody in every forum, every Flight Simulator forum other than plane. All everybody was doing was crying that we had no other, mostly that we didn't have Microsoft Flight Simulator back. Everybody was just constantly moaning and lamenting that it wasn't around. So when they announced it was coming back, pretty big deal. But then being in the conversations in the forums where everybody's like, I want this in it, and I'd like to see this in it. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to be much more than Flight Simulator X. You know, it'll be just a little bit better. It's not going to be whatever. And man, right when it came out, I was just starting to learn airliner flying and doing SIDS and stars, and learning about SIDS and stars and how to do flight planning with SIDS and stars. And the research time required to go out there and go to every airport and try to find the dang maps that work with your flight plan was driving me nuts. I'm like, they've got to have computers that do all this for them in the real world, because this is nuts. So that, to me, just that one feature alone, when they released 2020, that you could just click on a SID or a star and it just shows you the route. So you could just scroll through them and see which one is the one you need for the direction you're coming or going from. Like, oh my Lord, that's worth its weight in gold right there. That's just a revolution, a paradigm shift in flight simulators. And then they threw this at us and this at it and that at us. Wow. So I'm just sitting here smiling from ear to ear. And can you imagine how good it's going to be in the next 10 years, Ed? Can't imagine what the kids are going to have when we're gone. 30 years from now, 50 years from now. Hey, thank you. Use Navigraph, nice. You are a serious simmer. Yesterday, as we were flying around, doing the Kansas route, there were some pretty amazingly large structures, and lots of really cool earthwork in different spots going around. And I was daydreaming about, if you had millions of dollars, how much fun it would be to own a big plot that you could terraform and build on. That'd be quite awesome. Well, when you do your, if you choose to do some live streams, which I recommend, I'll get notifications. grab my coffee here. Excuse me. Cheers. Here's to your health, well-being, and prosperity. I'm always sad at the last sip of coffee. My significant other, she makes the world's best coffee. She is a foodie, and I would say almost a master, an iron chef. I think she knows everything there is to know about cooking. I'll throw questions out there. What does this mean? She knows everything. And she understands the science of coffee brewing. I never knew growing up that there was a science to coffee brewing, and I was completely wrong. There's an absolute science to coffee brewing, and she has mastered it. So she makes the perfect coffee. That's why I'm always sad, because she's off now. She'll be back in the evening, so I don't get another pristine pot of coffee. I mean, I can make it now better, and it's not always bitter. I grew up thinking bitter coffee was the way coffee tasted. I had no idea. Dumb. And now I go over to friends' houses, now that we're all older, we all drink coffee. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should say anything, but I don't think they know how to brew coffee. They don't know. They don't know the secret. Yeah, my last sip. Cheers. I think the saddest thing I ever learning about flying, and about if you do it in the real world, is the lesson where they tell you need to stop drinking coffee. Like, well, I don't think I want to fly now. I don't think I'm ever going to fly. Forget it. Really? Coffee's more important? Well, not absolutely important. Isn't that what a pitot tube is for? Oh, no, that's not what the pitot tube is for. Sounds like what it should be for. Why they don't have those built into planes, I don't know. Oddly, I've seen a lot of commercials where, hi, I'm a pilot, and I use catheters. I didn't need to know that, and that's not the way I want to go about living. No, thank you. Where's a Coke bottle? We'll do this old school. What do you like flying? What's your favorite aircraft? Or, you like, what's your, there's racing and jets and biplanes and. Oh, can we add each other? You can't. They've got to have a way to add friends. Yeah, you guys can just hit escape. Can I bother you for your Microsoft Flight Simulator screen name in the chat room? And I can add you in as a friend right now, if you don't mind. Slowly but surely getting people onto friends lists, and I was flying with these three gentlemen the other day. They're from Germany, and they're amazing glider pilots. So if you need to learn anything about gliding, these three right here just make it look so effortless. I feel like I'm a flying cow and they're just zipping around. They've got the zen. So yeah, if you can get me your screen name, then I will add you in right away. And I have a Discord. Don't have it open. Let me start Discord here and I can get possibly get a link. I think we have that technology. Permissions, invites. And we have the chat room. It didn't work. Thing. Anyway, there is a Skydude voice channel on Discord. And at the moment I don't use it enough. Everybody said I had to have one, so I got one. But I don't use it enough right at the moment to know how to do a whole lot, like get my URL. Create an invite. Generate a new link. No. Oh, that's dumb. Okay. Nice and green here. Oh no. It broke autopilot when I went into the external drone cam. It says it's still on, but it is not. Let me try to get back on track. Huh. Well, that's no good. Let me try to have it engage again. Let's see what it does. Okay, it's back on course. Let's try that again and see if the same thing happens. Let me go back to the external drone cam and see if it breaks again. Shouldn't. That's not the external cam. That's... There we go. So far, so good. Oh. I might have to put down. I thought we had enough fuel. Well, not in the right. I thought we were balanced. "47 minutes after the hour." Broadcasting from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I are Kinneas the Skydude. Kinneas, I say Kinneas a Skydude. Because there's a lot of Skydudes, like Ed. Ed's a Skydude. John is a Skydude. Henning and Hans, Skydudes. We're all Skydudes. And Skydudettes. Lovely weather we've been having. It's warming up again. Just the faintest patches of snow around the area. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like later, if we're going to get more snow, but it's been really pleasant last few days. Perfect for real world flying. This all should be... Oh no. As a matter of fact, I turned live off because I didn't need it for what I was doing in the last live stream. Let's turn it back on. I could be wrong. Out here in Kansas, it could be crappy, so let's find out. Live weather on. Turn on the multiplayer. Oh, can't while we're in a mission. And there's no way up here. Oh well. I'm pretty sure this is close to, that's, I'm not too far, relatively speaking, from here, and we have, it's sunny, no clouds in the sky. Nice and warm. That looks like if you had your own little dirt bike and you live down there, it'd be a fun place to ride around. So this will be for 5,000 credits today. So not bad. I could probably get, should have probably chosen one that was only like an hour long, but we're only 37 miles, so trying to keep the live streams an hour or under an hour. Unless we're doing group flying or anything like that. I think if you're tuned in and you're one of those folks who's like, man, the world's going to crap, it's going to end any day here, and you need to have a bug out plan, I think this is the best bug out plan that you can have in your arsenal backpack, is the ability to fly. Even if you don't own a plane, I think now with technology the way it is, between a flight simulator and YouTube, as I was saying earlier, there's a training video out there, a real world training video on YouTube for everything to do with real world aviation and flying. Getting how to get every license, what is expected on every test, all the FAA requirements, everything, as much as you would want to know. It's all available. And so, yeah, if you are one of those folks, you need to have a good bug out plan. Then that's my advice to you, is pick up Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 or 2024 and learn to fly. Even if you never have to use it. And it's so fast now. I mean, again, earlier I was talking about where we started with our flight simulator stuff. And I was talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator Lite and everything pre-YouTube, pre-internet. It would take forever to try to absorb and learn everything you need to learn. It almost seems impossible now. considering how much is required to know in just getting that information. Then you can now reduce it just down to mere months, depending on how much you grind. There was a time when I would have it on training videos. It doesn't matter what kind of training video, doesn't matter anything, and it was just constantly on in the background on YouTube all day long, all night long, while I'm sleeping. It was always playing something. I figured I'll get it through osmosis if I have to. Some things it kind of came that way. It seems like I had a really tough time with the VOR navigation, and so I just kept putting on VOR navigation videos over and over and over and over and over, and all of a sudden, just got it. Okay, thank you. Yes, I do. I have done a lot of airliner flying. And I hope to do a lot more as I progress through this career stuff and work my way up to the airliners again. It's been a while, but I do know how to fly them. Mostly the Airbus Neo, but I have flown all the other ones. I just got to remember how. Watch a couple refresher videos, the MCDUs, the FMSs or whatever, the differences in those. But that's the only obstacle with jumping into any one of them, is the little differences between all their computerization. Where they put their buttons. And I know how to create, I know how to, in the Airbus, how to create and edit in the MCDU. And for a while there, I was doing a lot of stringing of flights together. So set up a flight plan for one airport, go land there. Don't get out of the simulator. Just create another flight plan in the MCDU, file it, do it, and just string flights together. Get over to the chat room. If you want to. So I was looking, and it seems that they've got some of the Nazca lines really into the Ancient Alien stuff. So I was thinking about checking that out at some point soon, and looking around for some of the markings on the ground. Yeah, the Airbus definitely seems easier. I would like to, when they get the marketplace up and going again. I want to get the Osprey. I don't know if that's something that you... Either way, I'm really into these vertical takeoff and landing aircraft now. They're just blowing my mind. And I want to try flying something like that. Something big. I wonder how long it's going to take the airline industry. I think they need to switch over to vertical takeoff and landing at the rate they're going. I know it's going to be super expensive to overhaul an entire airline fleet, but I think the safety is worth it. But knowing this world, nah, I'm gonna fly those things until the bolts fall out. But I can see, as we go forward in the future, the most fleets switching over. It's becoming so simple now. If you haven't flown the eVTOL options in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 yet, I really recommend it. And that would be the Jetson, the Joby, and the Archer Midnight. And they're kind of a pain in the butt to figure out how to control a little bit, but once you do, it's super simple. And I think that's where the future of aviation is going, is into the super simple controls, the Nintendo controls. And pretty soon, I can imagine they're going to be adding AI automation into it. And we're entering Star Trek. All right, 15 miles. It's like somebody burnt that field. Look at how far the actual GPS is off from the boxes. Because we're on it. I don't know what those are. Those are internet towers. It's going to be really interesting to see what Elon Musk does with the FAA, because I guess he's working with them to upgrade their infrastructure. First thing that comes to mind is the automated air traffic control. AI air traffic control. So in a lot of my previous live streams over the last year or so, I was using the NEOFLY career app that you can get for 2020 and 2024. But it's a different type of career application mod that you can add. And I finally worked my way up to the caravan, which allows you to start really making good money. And I was almost a whole year in the caravan. And so it was always fun to hang out in the back and daydream about the tiny home experience. People are like, well, I want to live in my van. I'm like, I want to live in a plane. And imagining how to set up the interior of an aircraft, like, you know, for living in. And it was always just a touch too small. I mean, it was good enough, but I just wanted something a little bit bigger. And I would like to be able to stand up all the way and not be hunched over. And then in the marketplace, they released the Skyvan, and a lot of people loathe it. They're like, it's noisy and it's a flying shoebox. And I'm in love. I immediately picked it up, and it's perfect. So they made them around World War. It's a World War II aircraft, and a lot of them are still in use today for skydivers. But it was a troop carrier, and it could carry equipment, and they used it for all types of things. But it's big enough for you to, it's tall enough for you to stand up in and walk back and forth. And it's got enough length to it that they would have cots set up in there for medical. So it's got the room for laying down. And to me, it's perfect. It's ideal. And I'm a little bit upset with the career mode that we can't use whatever aircraft that we want. Maybe I'm not so disappointed at this stage where I'm not a company yet. But as a company, you're supposed to be able to buy whatever you want and fly whatever you want. And so I'm really, really, really hoping that that you are at some point able, when you own the company, to use it, because that's kind of like my dream plane for putzing around and exploring the world in. I've been writing the guys in the forums that make that aircraft, and I'm like, would you please create one that is like an RV interior? And I also own that camping kit, and I'm going to own it again for 2024 if they release it again. The camping kit. And I wrote him, I told him, would you please work with the guys who make the camping kit so I can see all my camping gear in the back as well? That'd be great. Do some simming. All right, let's contact the airport.
Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo Traffic Kin Papa Echo Alpha 5814 miles, southeast 5600. Ford inbound to land runway Tree.
Ah. Almost looks like a golf course. These people have the ideal spot. Everything is really pretty and green. Oh, and they got the little streams. That's why. They really want us to do a teardrop? Okay. Why not? All right, well, I hope they're happy. Oops. A little bit fast. Man, my eyes are really starting to go on me. I think I've been at this video gaming stuff for a while now. Out of the peripheral of my vision, I'm getting all these like strobing effects going on. That's not good. It's quite psychedelic.
Kilo Sierra Tango, Kilo Traffic Kin Papa Echo Alpha 5814 is on final runway tree.
A little bouncy. Hey, easy now. Easy, 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 easy. Come on now. Behave. Sit down. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to give my eyes a rest. Wow. That's weird. I have lost throttle control. My throttle is no longer responding. That's strange. Huh. I'm just drifting to a stop. How strange. There we go. The joystick. Yeah, the joystick, it'll pull out, but it won't go back in. Murphy's Law, man. I tell ya. Oh, I'm sure just after a restart, it'll be fine again. But it's strange. It's having hallucinations too. Oh well, they're gonna ding us for that too. And we didn't turn around and go back to the spot that they wanted. Come on, you. Move along. Just enough power to inch in there. All right, we did it.
It's Myron. The reception.
Hello, Myron.
Looks like the flight was a bit challenging, Cap. Serious, but it was close call. We're taking care of everything now. I leave you with your flight stats.
See how bad we took a hit to our reputation? Yeah, I think following those boxes actually makes a difference. Because we got dinged pretty hard there. Didn't like the landing. And my maneuvers. Didn't like my maneuvers. I'll take a B. So yeah, we didn't get the full 5.5. Yeah. And at least we aren't going backwards. So that's good. I think I just hit 90 yesterday again. Now I'm already up to gonna be 91. Rolling the levels at you. All right. Ed and anybody else, thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna take a break. I think I need to let my optic nerves relax for a little bit. And then I think I'm gonna try to be on at the top of the next hour. If not, I'll try to be back later in the evening. I hate promising anything. So, but I would like to do another live stream this afternoon or evening. So please like and subscribe, and that'll turn on the notifications if you do want to follow along. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing and all that. So I'll see you folks soon. Cheers.